Hey guys, how you doing? My name is Lena. Welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to talk to you about all the books that I've read on the time that I was off. Meaning like between November and December. I did read a bunch of books, to be honest. I just wasn't feeling like recording books because I was pretty busy, but my reading was on point, honestly. As I told you on my wrap up of the best and worst books of the year, it was a pretty meh reading year, but overall, I really want to tell you like all the books that I read. You know, just to keep you updated. But this is going to be brief because there's more than 30 books here. Oh my god, I even find like a fucking bookmark. It's going to be pretty brief. I'm not going to stop too much to any of the books. So let's just get started. We're going to do it chronologically. So the last time that I talked about books that I've read, I talked about The Forgetting Moon, which I actually quite enjoyed. Honestly, can't remember much about it already because it's been a long time. And since then I've read like another 40 books or something. Something along those lines. But still, this is kind of dark fantasy. I've seen people say that it's very dark. In my opinion, it didn't feel that dark for me. It's about a siege on a city, which I actually quite enjoy, but at the same time, I feel like there was just too much going on at times, and I kept like messing up the characters' names, so mixing them up basically. So I didn't have like the best experience with it, but I still really enjoyed it enough to get to the sequel. So I'll probably just craft the sequel next month and just read it. I might just read it physically instead of listening to it, because I think my first mistake was actually listening to it, because I had to listen to the beginning like 2 or 3 times. So yeah, if I remember correctly, I gave it 4 stars. Quite enjoyed it. Would recommend it. Then I read The Alchemy of Sorrow, which I had an audio arc, and I really liked it, even though it's short stories, which is not something that I usually really like, but they were actually pretty good. I basically grabbed it because there's an ML1 story here. It is most of the stories about grief. I did like a small review on Goodreads if you want to check it out, but yeah, I would recommend it, but it's kind of sad. I wouldn't say like crying sad, but definitely some of them are pretty depressing. So keep that in mind. Well, you're getting into it. But yeah, The Alchemy of Sorrow was pretty good. I give it also 4 stars. But yeah, then I continue with series, as I told you like on the last video that I did. But I read The Curse of the Wendigo, which is book 2 in the mythologies, and I just really like this series, honestly. This is so dark for being like a YA series. So dark, so horror-y. I just really liked it. I really need to get book 3, but sadly it wasn't like available for me when I finished this. I need to see if it's printing again, but it was actually really good. I do have to say that I prefer book 1, but still super solid. Like, it's just like, I don't love Wendigos as a mythical creature. I know that I'm very picky with mythical creatures lately, but I just don't love it as a mythical creature. I much prefer, not much prefer, but I kind of prefer book 1. Still, really solid, 4 stars. You're going to see that I gave most of these books like 4 and 3 stars. Just a heads up. Then finally, I read Hollow Empire, which is the continuation to City of Lies, and I actually really liked it. I do have to say that I prefer book 1 because I love the aspect of a siege city. There's something about that I just gravitate towards so much. Like, I just love it in general. I just love when the story is confined to just like a town or a specific city. There's something about that I just really liked. So it kind of happened here, but not exactly. Like, I'm a little bit torn about this one. I do definitely prefer book 1. I don't really think that it needed a sequel. I think it would have been okay as a standalone, but I still quite enjoyed it overall, honestly. So yeah, I will still recommend this series. It's just so good. So underrated. I do have to say that this one, I feel, is more fast-paced than the first one, which is the principal issue that a lot of people had. But yeah, this one's definitely fast-paced. Like, more fast-paced than the previous one. But I still prefer City of Lies. Like, there's something about it that is so cool. And instead of having poisons in this one, you have assassinations, if I'm not mistaken, before every like chapter. And it's just so cool. Yeah, incident, poison. You had like the description of the poisons in the first one, and then here is when they used it. It's just so cool. Then I did actually finish a series. I read the Last Emperor, which is the final book in, how is this actually called? How is this series called? I don't know. The Interdependency. Right? Yeah, I think so. And I decided to read it even though I didn't have a physical copy. I got the audiobook and I'm glad I did. I do have to say that I prefer book 1, but I don't think book 3 is the worst one. Like, I've seen so many people be disappointed by the third one, and I actually feel like the second one was more disappointed to me. Like, I feel like the first one is still the best, which is something that happens to me a lot. I much prefer book 1 a lot of times, and I don't know, but I kind of liked the conclusion. I mean, I know it's a little bit bittersweet and also a little bit cookie cutter at times, but I kind of liked it. Like, I didn't mind it at all. So I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I didn't mind it. I enjoyed it. I also gave it 4 stars or 3.5. I honestly don't remember. But overall, I liked it. Then, oh, this book. I will talk about this one more in another video. But I read The Book Eaters as part of the book club for November. I didn't give this book any rating because I don't know how to rate it. It's so fucking weird. Like, this book was so weird, and I think it was pitched like really the wrong way. I feel like it has nothing to do with what I thought this book was, with how it was sold. Like, I have no idea how that correlates to this one. It's so weird, but I'll talk about that one more on a specific video. But yeah, weird. I didn't give it any rating. I don't feel like I'm ready to rate it yet. I feel like I need another read for this book to actually just like rate it. It was so weird. Like, I don't know if I'm disappointed or very excited for it. I really, because we're a really mixed feeling. I have no idea. Then, continuing again with series, I read A Dead Man on a Ditch, which is the continuation to The Last Mile in Thunder City, which is kind of it's a book that reminds me a lot of Carnival Row, which I also didn't know it had a sequel season, like season 2. I thought that was never going to happen, but apparently yes. But this is the second book in that series, and Philip something? What is it? Fetch Phyllis? I don't know. But I quite enjoyed it. It's urban fantasy. The magic is gone, and it's kind of like they are trying to bring it back. And I think I like this one more than the first book. And also, I didn't. It's weird because I feel like not that much happened here. The case on book 1 was more convoluted, but also the plot, like the main plot of the trilogy here, really moved forward. So, I don't know, but I did grab it's over there, the last book in the series, so I will be probably reading it shortly, maybe next month, because it's a pretty fast read. But yeah, overall I liked it. Again, I give it like 3.5 4 stars. It was fine. I was in a really good mood. Everything was fine for me. Then, because I was watching the TV show, I read The Peripheral, and it was not disappointing, but it wasn't what I was expecting. I don't know. I just think that I liked the TV show too much to actually really like the book, because I'm super invested in the TV show. I finished the first season and I'm super excited. I wish we have a second one because I'm so into it, but I don't know why, but the story and the book, we didn't vibe. I give it 3 stars. Like, it's fine, but I just much prefer the show. Honestly, that's it. There's nothing else, nothing wrong with it. I just prefer the show. Then you read a horror graphic novel. Yes, I will be doing a video recommending horror graphic novels. Like, that's my new thing, and I'm so happy with it. But this is Infidel. This is a graphic novel around this. It's just so weird because it's kind of it's a horror story, but it's also like related to just like Islamophobia and terrorism. It's just weird, but it has like a double narration. Like, the character that you follow first is not the one that you end up with, which I think it works and it doesn't. I think it's a problem that a lot of people had with this one. I didn't mind it that much, but I would prefer if we continue with the first character, honestly. But yeah, I really liked it. I gave it 4 stars. The art was great. The horror was great. The story started great, fell a little bit flat towards the end, but I liked it overall. Then, I didn't tell you this, but I did it. I finished the Moontide Quartet. This is Ascendant's Rite by David Hare, and I don't know if it's because my disappointment with book 3 was so big that I didn't really enjoy this one either. Like, I liked it, but not even close to the level that I liked Mage's Blood or Scarlet Ties. Scarlet Ties is such a good book in so many levels. Like, the political intrigue in that fucking series is over the roofs. But this last book, I don't know what happened, man. I do have to say that I like the resolution and how everything came together. I do have to say that I'm pretty sad about a character's death. He was one of the villains, but I don't know, I just really liked him in general. I said it a bunch of times, but I don't know. Something about it didn't work for me. I think it's the lizard people. Since the lizard people came in, I haven't enjoyed it as much. It's weird to say it, but I don't know why. But Scarlet Ties still remains one of my favorite books. But the series definitely fell flat in the end, which is so fucking sad because books 1 and 2 are so good. I still bought is it there? It's over there. It's over there. Yeah. I still bought the next book in the sequel series, which I still want to read because I really like the world in general. So we'll see about that. But yeah, I gave it 3 stars. Then, because I'm too lazy to grab it, it's over there. I read Priest of Lies, which is the sequel series, the sequel to Priest of Bones. I actually didn't enjoy that one as much as book 1. I read book 1 in like a day. I was super into it, but for some reason I didn't like book 2 as much, and I still haven't bought the 3rd book. Like, there's nothing like making me want to read book 3. I don't know. I feel like I might need to reread both books and then just jump straight into book 3. It was weird. I ended up giving it 3 stars. I don't know why, but it didn't like click with me this time around. But I will definitely keep going and give it another chance because I really, really like book 1. So we will continue. Then I finally read Children of Ruin, and now that Children of Memory is out. And I actually really like this one. It's safe to say that actually this series is the one that I need to read from Median Tchaikovsky. Like, the humor here is so toned down, not like in his other series. So I'm super on board with it. I do have to say that I really want to read Elder Race. Is that the name? I think it is. But yeah, this one was also a hit. I didn't like it as much as Children of Time, but I really liked it overall. Like, I really like that it's a very like soft continuation. I don't know, there's something about it that I just really enjoy. The feeling of kind of a feeling like a coming back home, like that type of feeling. I just really liked it in general. I really want to get a copy of Children of Time, probably next month, and then just read it because this series is really, really good. And I don't know if I'm going to continue with Shards of Earth. Like, this, the next book came out, but I'm not sure. Like, the humor in there, I wasn't feeling the same as the Dwarfs of Eden. So I don't know, we'll see. Then the discovery of the century for me, Gideon Falls. I have already read the first 4 volumes. I will get volume 5 and 6 next week because I cannot wait. I've been loving this graphic series. We're also currently reading volume 1 for the book club, and it's just amazing. It's horror, horror fantasy, horror, everything is just so cool. I just love this type of paranoia books. It's amazing. Also, the art is great. Highly recommended. Thank you to whoever recommended it to me. I just don't remember who it was, but I know it was here. And thank you. You were so right. I was really good at continuing series the last month, but I read the Tyrant by Cormorant, and I'm so happy that I did because the ending of book 2 was so good. So good. The book on itself wasn't great, but man, that ending got me, and I was really excited to read this one. And it's so fucking big, and I still read it super fast because I was really into it. I remember really liking it, although if I'm being honest, I just cannot pinpoint. Oh yeah, nah, it came back to me. I was just thinking about what happened in this one, and I was mixing it with book 2, but no, this one was great. It has like a lot of back and forward, like different timelines. It was great. I really liked it. I'm such a huge fan of the series, honestly. I think I need to organize like a readathon or something for book 4 when it comes out because I'm just so excited. Is it coming out this year? I hope so, but I just really, really liked it. Really, really liked it. I give it 4.5. It was great. Then because I wanted something light, and I had this like for a long time, and it's just such a beautiful book. I felt like reading it. The ones we're meant to find, it's weird. It was definitely weird. Not what I was expecting. It's kind of like this girl looking for her sister, and the revelation had me, and also I was just like, ugh. I think it might be because of the romance, but I'm not really sure. I give it like 3.5. It's not bad. It's a cool sci-fi book. It's also like, how it is called, like climate sci-fi? Very related to that, but I don't know. I enjoyed it, but I just didn't love it. Then because I wanted like something dark but fast, I read Juniper and Thorn. I got the audiobook for it, and I also enjoyed it, but didn't love it. Like, it got me like a similar vibe to like House of Salt and Sorrows. Like, yeah, these sisters are trapped in this mansion with their father, and they want to go out. Pretty interesting. Is the ending is pretty dark. Like, this book is pretty dark. It's darker in some aspects and very light in others. Like, it's just such a weird mix. But overall, I quite enjoyed it, so I will definitely recommend it. If you're looking for like a horror, dark, very atmospheric type of read, definitely check it out. I believe I gave it 4 stars, if I'm not mistaken. Then I read Crystal Awakening, which is sequel, companion series to Arcane Ascension, the series by Andrew Rowe, which I love. And this is set on the same world, but is written by another author. It's the same thing as with Metro, that the author basically allowed everyone to write in the same universe, and I just really like that concept. I feel like it's super cool. In the Metro world, I found like so many like cool other books set in there. I don't have really to search now that I started to like, now that I read in English too, because at that time I only read in Spanish, so probably there's some good ones out there that I haven't read. But it's the same vibe, though this one is very centered on climbing. Oh my god, completely forgot the word. On climbing the spires, which is actually something that I find out that I don't really love of Arcane Ascension. Like, I like it and I love it as a part of the world, but I just didn't really love a book just set on that. Though I have to say it was pretty dark. I was so surprised because, I don't know, I feel like Arcane Ascension has stakes, but it's just like very like hopeful in general, and this one was just like, yeah, you're dead, bye. And I'm just like, what? Which I understand, it gives it like a, the spires are actually dangerous, but I don't know, I was so confused, like, wait, what? I actually listened to it and it was a very good experience, so I will recommend it. I give it like 3.5, more than a 4 stars, but yeah, I was a little bit like, where this is going, holy shit. Then I read some horror. I read Gone to See the Riverman, because I was just feeling like short reads, like very intense reads, and I actually really liked it. It was actually very creepy. It was recommended to me by the author of The Rave, and yeah, it's actually fucking scary. I'll say that. It's basically about like these 2 sisters, and she is in contact with a serial killer, and the serial killer sends her to find the riverman so she can ask for something. The ending is so freaky. I really liked it. I give it 4 stars. Oof, super solid. If you're looking for a horror read, definitely check it out. But it was so creepy, man. Continuing my horror graphic novels. I've been starting to read the new Joe Hill, like, how's it called? Hill House. Yeah, the Hill House comics, which is publication house with just horror books, if I'm not mistaken. I have several of them. I only have read this one, and I liked it, but it was so bizarre. Like, the main story, what? Like, it had some of my like favorites. Like, I love rescuing ghost ships. We know this already. But they were so powerful, but just like, what? What? Very bizarre. I think it would be better if it was just a little bit longer. But overall, I enjoyed it. I give it like 3.54 stars. Apparently, it's one of the best ones of the collection, so we'll see. Then, because I really wanted to continue this series, I reread The God of Prayer, and I have the Something Saint. Shadow Saint, the Shadow Saint on my TBR for this month. I will probably get to it in time, but I still really like this one. There's a lot of politics, religion in here, dark fantasy for sure. The Waxmen are very terrifying. There still are. And yeah, I'm just really excited to jump into book 2 basically. But yeah, again, because I've already talked about this one, I give it 4 stars again. It was really good. Then another of my favorites of the year, The Nice House on the Lake, in the Lake, on the Lake, on the Lake. Oh man, I love this graphic novel. The second bind-up is coming out this year and I cannot wait. I cannot fucking wait. I'm so excited. Like, oof. I just wish we had like a TV show or something for this. Like, it could work so well. I wish we had it. But it's about like this gathering of friends and then one of them is just like, yeah, I've gathered you up here because I didn't want you to die when my fucking alien race wiped the whole earth, and that's what happens, and everyone is losing their minds. And it has a lot of back and forth between the different characters. I just really liked it. Really liked it. It's also like, can we say like triple timeline? We have past, present, and future, and it was great. I loved it. 5 stars. We're getting closer to the end. Finally. Then I read the Stardust Thief, which I really enjoyed. This is, can we call it a desert fantasy? I'm not really sure, but I love this one. It was such a surprise. I've already talked about this one in my most surprising books of the year, so I'm not going to say that much on it, but I just really liked it. I give it 4, honestly, like more like 4.5 stars. Certainly, it's been a long time since I enjoyed. I think this is considered YA. If I'm not mistaken. Is it considered YA? Or I'm just saying that it's YA because it's written by a woman. Who knows? But I think it is. No, Orbit only publishes adult books, apparently. So yeah, I don't know. It felt young, but the good type of young. I just really liked it in general. So yeah, I gave it like 4.5 stars. Then I read because around this time, we did like the live show for Speaking Bones, and Tommy and I talked about Siren Queen and it being one of her favorite books of the year, if I'm not mistaken. So I decided to read it. I listened to it and I have to say that it was really good, but it wasn't like my type of read. There's something about like fucking Hollywood in the 20s and 30s that just doesn't attract me at all. Like this old, like Hollywood scene with the stars. I just don't like it at all. And I do have to say that even with that, I did really enjoy this book. I did really enjoy this book. Obviously, deals a lot with racism since the main character is Asian. So her facing these different adversities, trying to make it basically. And it's just so cool. I did really like the ending though. I really liked the ending though. It was a really super solid book. I give it 4 stars. It didn't blow my mind, but I really liked it in general. Then I don't know what I put in my copy, honestly, but I started another horror graphic novel, Harrow County. I got this from Rachel at Shades of Orange. It's one of the books, one of the graphic novels that she recommends a lot when she's talking about graphic novels in general. So I grabbed it. I actually really liked it. I'm thinking about just getting the omnibus because I haven't liked the first volume that much. I'm just going to grab the whole omnibus with the first, like, I think it's 4 or 5 volumes. And that's going to be it. But I really liked it. I gave it 4 stars. It's about like a girl figuring out that she's kind of a witch reborn, that they murder in this town. It was a cool concept. I also listened to it while I was reading it because it has one of these graphic audios adaptations like this Sandman, and it was really cool. Then one of my favorite books of the year, The Hand of the Sun King. I'm not going to talk about it anymore, but I give it 5 stars. I loved it. I already have book 2. We'll read it next month because this month I'm just picking whatever I feel like it. And man, I loved it. It was so good. So good. To everyone who's hesitating on picking it up, pick it up. It's just so cool, man. Then Dark Mind, the sequel to Dark Apprentice, which I read at the beginning of the year, and Dark Mind came out in December, and I was really lucky to get an ARC, and this is my now finished copy. I really liked it, dude. Like, oh my god, the relationship between Nikolai and Medea on this one. Oh, fucking fantastic. If you like character-driven stories, this fucking series is for you. Even I, who don't like them, I'm in love with this series. Like, it's just so good. It's already up there with my favorite self-published books of all time, and now it's up there with my favorite series of all time. Like, I just love it. Even though it's kind of more like urban fantasy than full-on-fledged fantasy, since it takes place in our world. But man, it's so good. It's so fucking good. I cannot recommend this one enough. Like, pick it up. Just pick Dark Apprentice up. It's just fucking great. Then, because I got them for my birthday, I reread this one and read this one. I'm in love with slasher horror books. I love slasher movies in general. There's my favorite genre of movies is comedy horror. Who would have thought? I know, but I just hate like dumb, not like dumb, but like this type of cookie cutter humor, like the Marvel movies. I just cannot handle that type of humor. But I love some dark humor, some horror comedy, something like The Menu, something like Ready or Not, something like, I don't know, like, oh my god, what is the name? Freaky Friday, something like that. I just fucking love that. And this is kind of the same really campy type of read, which I love it. This one is actually a chunker compared to this first one. I don't think there's going to be a third one, though I kind of hope it is. I just love how they match. I'm in fucking love with this series. Like, will I recommend it to everyone? No. Do I still love it? Absolutely. It's super solid horror, like slasher horror. Loved it. I do have to say that the stakes felt lowered in this one, and here you felt the horror, like, oh my god, everyone's going to die. But in this one it's a little bit softer, though it was great. Love the zoology. I wish it was longer, honestly. Then finally, second to last, I also read Magic Steeped in Poison, because the magic system in this book is based around tea. I'm a fucking tea lover. I love tea with all my heart. I take like 3 or 4 cups of tea a day. I just love it. And the concept felt amazing. I do have to say that I will probably just keep listening to book 2. I will not get physical copies of it because I didn't like it as much, but I definitely enjoyed it. I gave it like 3.5. The coolest thing, the magic system. The plot, pretty okay. A girl trying to clean up her family's name, basically. Pretty okay. But the magic system was the best part. And the last book that I read was The Silence of Unworthy Gods, which was a 5-star read, because the ending had me scared, gasping, everything. Like, I was so scared, dude, so scared. But yeah, I talked about this one already, so I'm not going to stop in it. But yeah, these were all the books that I read at the end of the year. Holy shit, I've been dreading to do this video for so long because I already knew it was going to be so long. But yeah, I will do, this month I will do a wrap up, because I do not have the time to do like weekly videos. So I'm just like recording the ones that I have behind. And then at the end of the month, I will do like a wrap up for all the books that I've read in January, which were a lot. I have already read like 14 books, and it's the 20th. So I've been in a really good, really mood. I hope it continues like that, because I keep putting like books on my TBR for this month. So I hope it's like that. But have you read any of these books? What books have you been reading lately? Just let me know down in the comments below. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye.